The Bitcoin downtrend is still continuing, and on today's update video, I'm gonna be talking about the most important level of support laying below us right now, the most important charts and patterns that are revealing something about what that next move for Bitcoin is gonna be, and when that next move for Bitcoin is gonna be coming as well. The ultimate fear that is currently hitting the markets, the spot Bitcoin ETF flows, and many more important charts and patterns that are telling us something about what most likely is gonna be happening next year. Also, I am looking to be opening up a $2+ million Bitcoin trade here, so I'm gonna be sharing my exact setup on today's update video. So without any further ado, don't forget to once again snap that like button back above 1,000 likes. It will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. So first of all, we can see here on the 1 hour time frame that clearly ever since we created this double top structure around $65,000, Bitcoin came down here. We had that lower high together with a lower low structure, and basically right now Bitcoin is trading around $56,000, and we're still creating lower lows on the lower side and lower highs on the top side. So we're still trading ultimately in a downtrend, and I have discussed this level many times before here, and I said it in previous videos, and I will be saying it again here. As long as we're not breaking below this exact level, the 55,000 to 54.7k level, I believe we're not going to be having any big drops towards the downside. But if we do, however, see a break below this level, I think Bitcoin is going to be falling down to $49,000 to $52,000, and that is going to be one of my levels where I will be opening up my multi-million-dollar Bitcoin trade here. So in my personal opinion, I truly hope Bitcoin is going to be breaking down here, but there's a very big chance Bitcoin can still hold on towards this level, and then on the bigger perspective, create potentially that higher low structure. Because yes, if we're looking at Bitcoin right now here, you can see that currently we are finding some support here around this level, where previously around we also found some support from, right? So we are exactly bouncing off that level right now here, and if we bounce off this range here, you can see that first we create a lower low in the market, and then we're going to be confirming the higher low. And if Bitcoin then manages to be breaking above this high in the market, which is laying around $64,000 to $65,000, we are basically going to confirm a higher low structure, and what I will be doing at that point is basically open up my new Bitcoin trade here whenever we see the confirmation of the break above this level. So there are two ways how I'm going to be trading Bitcoin. If we break below this very important level of support, I'm going to be waiting to open up, of course, a trade on the lower side. And if Bitcoin breaks towards the upside and sees the continuation towards the upside with a higher low structure, I'm going to be loading up once Bitcoin confirms the break above the previous high, because that is most likely going to be the beginning point of the next big move towards the upside for Bitcoin. So currently on the daily time frame, we are still remaining to be trading in a downtrend, and that is why I want to be seeing the break above the previous high here. And on the 8 hour time frame, we can clearly see that Bitcoin is creating somewhat of a falling wedge pattern, and actually this pattern is set to be breaking out in the next 2 to 3 days here ahead of ourselves. We're clearly seeing a downward sloping support line where we're basically bouncing from every single time, and a downward sloping resist line on the top side where we are also getting rejected from multiple times in a row as well. So clearly Bitcoin is right now consolidating still in this pattern, and we're just waiting to see whenever that next breakout is going to be taking place here. Also, if we're just looking at the sentiment in the market, it is extremely bearish with extreme fear hitting the markets right now. And yesterday we saw more than $200 million outflows on the spot Bitcoin ETF, and in the past 7 trading days, we've already seen more than $1 billion worth of outflows on the spot Bitcoin ETF. So there's a lot of outflows coming, and this usually comes together with fear, because if we're looking at all the data points from the spot Bitcoin ETF, whenever it was topping out, whenever it was of course sawing large inflows, it usually was that whenever we saw large outflows, it tended to be marking the bottom, and whenever we saw record inflows, it tended to be marking the top for the market. But clearly we're seeing some slight little corrections here in the spot Bitcoin ETF. There's nothing really to be worrying about all too significant. I mean, we're just seeing some outflows on the last 7 days here, but this is just normal after you've seen the fastest growing ETF ever in history taking off, right? So it is normal to see, of course, some outflows since there's been so much inflows on the spot Bitcoin ETF ever since it launched. So Also, looking still at the funding rates, I have said this in many videos before, but I also tweeted about it many times before, because always whenever the funding rates become negative and stay negative for a very long time here, there's always a very explosive Bitcoin move after, and currently at this moment of time, the Bitcoin funding rates have been negative for quite some time, and really what we're expecting next year is just another explosive move here, because literally what is happening right now here is that the market is heavily getting shorted, and this is already happening for what is it, the last 3 to 4 weeks here. Everyone is shorting Bitcoin, and that is ultimately going to be causing a major short squeeze whenever we see the push towards the upside. And we do know there's a lot of liquidity laying above us. And to be exact, it's currently more than $13 billion US already laying around that 70k level, and there's way more laying above that as well here. So there's going to be a massive short squeeze whenever Bitcoin is going to be hitting 70,000 US. So that is also going to be the target we will be aiming for. So along the way, there will be also many short squeezes as well, but always in history of Bitcoin always tend to be following the liquidity, and why wouldn't we follow it this time around again? And just like I said earlier in the video, I am looking to be opening up a major trade on Bitcoin, a $2 million US Bitcoin long position. I'm going to be doing so on Bybit. So if you want to be joining me, or if you want to be opening up an old trade, guys, don't forget to go to the highest link description of today's video, because if you press on this link right here, you will come to this page where you can currently actually claim a free $500 US airdrop position on Bybit. And this is extremely valuable, because if you write a sign up account using this link below, complete KYC, you will literally be able to claim a free $500 US trade on Bybit. So if you're interested in that, check it out in the link description of today's video. Coming back, what I also discussed in yesterday's video is the 2024 support line, and this is going to be one of the most important levels in my opinion for Bitcoin. And if we break below this, yeah, then most certainly we're going to come down towards this level, which I was talking about earlier, where I want to be opening up my big trade on Bitcoin. So yeah, hopefully we're going to come down towards this level, but there's also a very big chance we're just going to be bouncing off this level, because this is extremely big support for Bitcoin. And yeah, for Bitcoin to be bouncing off this level is going to be all more than likely, and that is why I am already all in with my spot portfolio. And if Bitcoin comes down, I'm going to be opening up a trade, and that is basically how I'm hedging my portfolio, because ultimately, if I'm zooming out, I believe a big bull market is about to be imminent for Bitcoin. I mean, yeah, we're just creating still this massive bull flag pattern, which in my opinion is still looking very healthy. And yeah, we're just seeing major consolidation around all-time highs, and the longer the consolidation is going to be lasting, the more explosive the breakout ultimately also is going to be here. And for Bitcoin, if you're looking at the cycles, yeah, we can currently clearly see here that we're still exactly on track here on the bull market, and just give us another 30 to 40, 50 days or something like that before the bull market really is going to get started. And remember, the Federal Reserve is going to start cutting rates in 12 days from now on. There's a 59% chance they're going to be cutting with 25 basis points, and there's a 41% chance that they're actually going to be cutting the rates with 50 basis points. So that is of course going to be massive, and the last time the big Bitcoin bull market started was whenever the Fed started to cut the rates and more liquidity was getting injected in the market. And exactly 60 days from now on as well, we're going to have the US election, which is most certainly going to cause more volatility and potential more upside for crypto as well here. So great things are developing, but right now it is extremely boring. I am very much aware about that, and it's most likely going to be staying this way for at least the coming 30 days. But after that, guys, it is going to get interesting. So please do not fade the market right now. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, smash up the bell notification, because in these times right here, you can make the most amount of money, the pre-bull market stage here. So this is it for me in today's video. If you once again learned something from it, if you learned something about my strategy, if you have more questions about it, I would like to answer it. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. See you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.